Hey guys, it's Katt Dee, and Franklin has invited me to his channel to give you my thoughts on the upcoming line of the Disney Lion King Funko Pops. Now, we've already seen some of these Lion King Pops in a previous wave, but this is a brand new wave. You're going to see a character that you haven't seen before. I think maybe two characters we haven't seen before. As well as some actual movie moment, but they've captured some moments in the movie that were kind of some of my personal favorite. So I'm looking forward to talking about that, as well as I'm going to be giving you my thoughts on the new live action Lion King Disney trailer. So let's get right to it. So first off, we're going to be talking about the Funko Pops. So first, right out of the gates, I want to introduce a Funko Pop that actually has not been previously made. So this is a new Lion King Pop, and this is Mufasa. Now Mufasa is actually one of my favorite characters in the Lion King, along with some others that I'm going to mention towards the end of this video. But Mufasa is Simba's father. Now, if you take a look at this pop, it looks like it could be Mufasa, and to me it also looks like it could be old Simba or older Simba, like when Simba grows up. I think it's got a great sculpt, but I feel like they should have done something more because it is Mufasa. And even in the movies, Mufasa was such a bigger, prominent character in the movie than Simba was even when Simba grew up. But let's talk about his mane. I feel like it should be flocked. In my opinion, anything that actually has fur should be flocked. But if they're not going to flock everything, let's make Mufasa stand out. So in the future, if we ever bring an older Simba out, we can distinguish between the two. But Mufasa being that little something extra special. I feel like he looks a little sleepy. I feel like he's got these really droopy eyelids, but really I feel like the box makes him look like it's just a moment where he's smiling. And again, I can't see this in person, and maybe I'm being a little bit too critical, but I do love the fact that we're finally getting a Mufasa pop. I do wish that his hair was flocked, his mane was flocked, but other than that, it's a great pop to add to any Lion King or Disney collector. So next we have a pop that we've already seen 4 times, and we've seen 2 flocked versions and 2 regular versions. And this is Simba. Now, what I love about this new Simba pop coming out is it's not just a Simba pop. It's a Simba pop that is bringing to life a really funny moment in the movie. I love that he's holding a bug in his hand. I love his disgusted look on his face. This is something that Funko, in my opinion, definitely did right. Alright, so next we have a Funko Pop that to me is a little underwhelming, but with that being said, it's not one I don't feel like they could have done a ton with. But it's a new character for us, and this is Nala. So if you guys have seen Lion King, you know that Nala is Simba's childhood female lion friend, and they grow up and they fall in love. Well, this looks like it's probably young Nala, and it's a plain Funko Pop. It looks like a young lion. There's no distinguishable characteristics that screams if you took it out of the box that you would know that it's Nala from the Lion King. With that being said, it's probably one of those harder pops to think of something unique to do. Alright, so on to my favorite one in this entire line. I'm so excited about it. It's our last new character that Funko's introduced into Funko Pop form. And it is an iconic character. He should have been produced a long time ago, but we have him now, and that is Zazu. I love Zazu. Disney does such a great job with birds in their movies. I love Zazu. I love his sculpt. I think they did a great job with him. I love the fact that they've gone the extra mile and did that extra light coloring in his beak. I think it gives it a little more extra dimension. I think the smirk or the look on his face is completely Zazu. I think they actually thought about what this was going to look like after production, and I know if I sat him on my shelf, I would know exactly who that is, and I think that he is a great looking Funko Pop. So the last two I want to talk about actually kind of go together. So I'm going to group them together and talk about them as a pair. So we have Luau Pumbaa and Luau Timon. These pops are adorable. Now I will say that I'm leaning more towards the Timon pop. I think he was done really well. It really captures the moment in the movie where he dresses up to distract the hyenas so Simba and all them can make their like covert operation happen. I think they really caught the character of Timon. I love his little luau outfit. I think they did a great job with the coloring, a great job with the sculpt. It's something different we haven't seen before. It is not a carbon copy of another sculpt with a different paint. It's a very, very cute Funko Pop, and I'm so glad that they've brought it out, and I'm so glad that it has more of, like, it has personality. I love these personalities in some of these pops. We have Pumbaa. Now, what Pumbaa looks great to me, you see his apple in his mouth. It's another luau pop, you know, where he's like kind of being a roasted pig. I love that detail. I love the expression on his face. The only problem that I have with this pop is, even though I feel like Disney is animated and it's a cartoon, this Funko Pop really looks cartoony to me. Like, I don't know how they could have done a better job. Maybe some of the facial features, maybe some like more dimension in the color. I mean, that's just me being picky. It's a great looking pop. I feel like it looks very cartoony in his mouth and snout area. But it is a cartoon, so there you go. All right, guys. So that is it on the Funko Pop. On the Funko Pop portion of this video. So now I'm going to switch modes and tell you what I think about the Lion King movie trailer. Okay guys, so we're now on to the trailer review version of this, or the trailer. I'm going to watch the trailer, tell you guys what I think about the trailer itself. This is actually just a teaser trailer, so it's kind of short. I think it's like an hour. It's about a minute and a half or so. I said while we were doing the Funko Pop reviews that James Earl Jones played Mufasa in the animated version, and everyone is going to be pleasantly surprised to know that James Earl Jones is actually reprising the voice role of Mufasa in the movie for this 2019 revision of The Lion King, and you will see that or hear that in the trailer, and I'm super excited to let you guys know about that. So let's get right into the trailer review of Disney's live action version of The Lion King. So this is starting off pretty much the same way the 1994 trailer started off.
Everything the light touches,
it's so beautiful.
is our kingdom.
Wow.
The king's time as ruler rises and falls like the sun. One day,
The Jungle Book was awesome.
the sun will set on
Wow.
here and will rise with you as the new king.
He's got such a good voice. Rafiki! Oh, very similar to the 1994. Look at Simba! Wow. Danny Glover's Simba. James Earl Jones.
Remember.
My goodness. Okay, so let's talk about that movie trailer. There are a lot of similarities from that trailer from the 1994 like Disney trailer. I mean, even down to Simba putting his paw in Mufasa's paw, which gives me chills. I thought they did a great job with that. With that being said, the person who did the Jungle Book actually is doing the Lion King, as you saw in this movie trailer, which I think is the perfect choice. Not only because the Jungle Book, I feel like, was a super successful adaptation. I really loved what they did with it. But the wildlife, catching it, making it look so realistic. I mean, obviously there's going to be CGI in these movies due to the fact that, you know, they are wild animals that are supposed to, you know, tell a story or whatnot. But I think that just from that teaser trailer, it looks amazing. I feel like they're probably going to stick to the same storyline as the animated version of the movie. It was set up exactly the same way. Go back and watch that 1994 trailer. I mean, from the birds flying through the sky to the animals like bowing their heads to Rafiki breaking some like that, like red powder open. All of that happened in the original animated trailer. But this one, let's talk about this one. Down to like the little hairs moving on Simba's little fur when Rafiki was holding him. Or Simba was holding him. Who was holding him? Someone was holding him and Rafiki was putting that stuff on his forehead. And yeah, it looked super amazing. I know that lots of people are giving some of these Disney remakes like some shade, or like put it that way. I thought Beauty and the Beast was one of the closest adaptations that they did. They did try to throw in some more musical numbers into that movie, but I thought that movie was cast well. I thought they did a great job turning an animated version of that movie into a live action version. But The Jungle Book by far is one of the best, and Mulan coming up is one of the best that I'm looking forward to having an all-Asian cast and it just feeling authentic. I'm really upset that they're changing the storyline to Mulan. So I know I'm supposed to be talking about the Lion King here, but it's relevant. So they're changing kind of the storyline to Mulan. From what I've heard, I think our antagonist is going to be someone completely different. So watching this trailer and feeling like we're going to have the same storyline and the same like iconic Mufasa voice, it's going to be nostalgic. It's going to be wonderful, and I cannot wait. I mean, 1994, guys. I mean, that feels like, I mean, that's over 20 years ago. It's almost 25 years ago. And, like, I feel like they're going to pay a true tribute to the movie. So let's break down, like, pros and cons. So obviously, you know my pros so far. I love the fact that it's nostalgic to the past. I love the fact that they brought back James Earl Jones as Mufasa. I think that is amazing. I wish they would have brought Jeremy Irons back as Scar. I really do. I feel like those two were, I mean, I think his voice as Scar was amazing. It was so, like, menacing. But I'm going to give the person that they casted as Scar a chance as well. But some of the cons that I see is obviously it being an animated turned into live action that we're dealing with wildlife. We are going to be dealing with a lot of CGI. And while I think that they did a wonderful job with it, I feel like that's going to be where they get the biggest criticism too. Like, we just saw a teaser trailer, and in bits and pieces of it, obviously, you could tell that it was CGI. I mean, Rafiki was obviously CGI. They did a wonderful job with it. Really super realistic. But I feel like that's the one thing that they're going to have a hard time with. I guess that's not necessarily a con. It just is what it is. You're turning a movie that is predominantly or all wildlife into a live action version. You know, I wish they would do this with Robin Hood. Disney's Robin Hood, and make them all animals. Wouldn't that be funny? That would be completely all CGI, and they'd all be wearing clothes, and it would just be fabulous. But yeah, so that's kind of my thoughts on the trailer. I loved, like, seriously, side by side, go watch them, and you will see almost every scene that you've seen in this trailer in the 1994 trailer as well, and I love that. I loved the details. I'm excited. I hope you guys are excited. I'm Katt Dee, guys. Thank you, Franklyn, for allowing me to give my thoughts on this, as scatterbrained as they were.